Hello. Welcome to a short sort of live discussion. If anybody's out there and wants to chat, it's Sunday morning. This is Timber Circle. I'm doing boxes. I'm almost done with them. And we just gotten back from Cancer, which is always a sort of important meeting for us. And so I thought we'd talk about that and horses and pretty much anything except World War III. So, um, those of you who are watching this know that every year, well, almost every year, I stop for a couple of years, but take horses to Cagnes for the winter meeting down in Nice, near Nice. And we, in the past, have done very well at that meeting. Lately, not so much. But it's this year was kind of a middling sort of meeting. We didn't win. We took some places. The benefit of going to Cagnes is that the horse we get out of here. We couldn't really train here because the tracks were horrible. The weather was awful, and honestly, just everybody needs some sun. So that's what. Even though the weather wasn't perfect in Cannes this year, we didn't have as much sun as we often have in the past. It was still really good compared to the weather up here. So when we went down, we were missing a few weeks of work because of the rain and the frost and the snow and the flooding. And so it took us a couple weeks to get our footing down there. And then we didn't win. We got some places. We didn't win. So now, though, the question is what will happen? We went to Cagnes with 10 horses. We came back with 13. Not all of them will stay. We should have some chances now to win a couple of races, because the thing about Cagnes is that even if you don't win down there, you often can win right after that because it advances you in the training with the sun and with the other thing that happens down there, and it's important, is that the great part is that the sun is great for the horses and it's great for us, and it's a good place to be, but it's hard because we're on the race course. The sand is very abrasive down there, so almost all the horses end up with cracked heels that we're looking at all the time, and some other little niggles that you get down there. But it really toughens them up. But what it also does is that by the time they get home, they're kind of sleep deprived because they don't really relax down there. The staff, the staff too. By the time we leave Cagnes, the staff and the horses need a little bit of rest. As soon as we get home.
Yes, someone to give a thumbs up if this
Yep.
is okay.
Is any can everybody hear? Can anybody who's watching hear us? Can you give us a like or a thumbs up if you're actually hearing this, or if I'm just actually talking into the without being able to hear anything? Right. So I'll just keep anyway. So when we get home from Cagnes, the staff and the horses are sleep deprived. The wheels start to come off a little bit. You have some niggles to fix, and the first thing that happens when the horses get home is that they lay down. They don't lay down much down there. Why? Because the boxes, it's very active. People are walking horses all the time. There's a lot of noise, a lot of things going on, and they do sleep obviously, but they don't probably get that deep sleep that they really need. So it toughens them up. They're in shape, they're fit, but they need a few good nights sleep to get them recovered again to be racing effectively, and the staff too, because what happens down there is it's one of the rare times in France where nobody's at home. Everybody gets together, and it's sort of like it turns into a giant high school, and people go out and they work hard, but they play hard. And are you getting any thumbs ups? Anybody hearing anything? No reactions?
Mira said, hello, bonjour.
Hello, bonjour. Okay, wait, and she can hear us then, I assume, which is good. So at the end of the time, the staff get on each other's nerves, and the horses are tired, and so it's time to go home. So that's needs to happen. It's great to go, but it's great to come back, and now we have to attack the flat season here, which is good. We have the turf racing again here, and we have some reasons to be optimistic. Timber Circle here has only run 5 races in her life because she went down to Cagnes with very little experience. and she's relatively highly rated because she's run well. So she had to. Her first handicap was in a Cante, which is very very tough to do, and she was seventh, which is very good. Her second one, also in a Cante, and her third race in Cagnes, she didn't. She finished tailed off, but I don't think it's really her fault. She needs to toughen up, and she needs to. It was probably a bit too long for her, and the track at the end of the season was a potato field. I mean, we need to go to Cagnes for the turf because it's the only place we can get the turf in France, and that's why we're there. So they won't hurt themselves on it. But by the end of the meeting, the track is very tired. The track is as tired as the horses are. So we we didn't have a great performance on that last day, and everybody was on the turf, which was sort of by design. This is Rhineland, who does not run on the turf. She runs on the fiber sand. Hello, sweetie. And she needs another race. She ran okay. She took two places, and I think she has a little bit of a sore back behind the saddle, which we're going to look at this week. But other than that, she'll do okay. So we'll be looking for a race for her at the end of the month. And we have some new additions. We have a 3-year-old filly called Voyage Olympique, who's a model of consistency because she's been fourth every race she's run for us. And when we claimed her, she was fourth. So we have to get her moved up a little. She was almost third in her last. She just got nipped at the post for third in the maiden she ran on the last day. There's a question.
There's a question.
That's a question.
Could you employ an English person? I currently work at the National Hunt Yard, but would love to work in Chantilly over the summer.
I would love to employ an English person, and we need another rider. So come on over. The only problem is because your friends voted for Brexit, we need to get work papers for you, which is often not easy. So unless you have an EU passport or a work visa, it's kind of complicated. But I actually am looking for another rider because we have 12 horses that are staying in the yard for right now, and we've got 8 more to bring in. We just hired one new rider, but we need one more. So if you're out there and you want a job, talk to me. But you have to have EU work papers. Because if you're English nationality working in England, probably doesn't help, right, Rhineland? But you do national hunt anyways. I'm only on the flat training only. Although we have a horse that really wants to go jumping, but that's another story. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So what else? So we've got, we don't have any horses entered at the moment because we just wanted to come back, take stock and see where we are. But I've got entries that I'll be doing tomorrow we'll start back running up here around the 10th, 11th of March now, 15th. So we have a bunch of entries coming up there. We have some fun new horses to look at. And we have some that we're not going to keep because the other thing about Cagnes is that we kind of sort through who can do it and who can't. And we always have a bit of attrition coming back because of that. What else? We've got some stuff to do on the yard. It's spring. There's stuff to be cut and trimmed and fixed and doors to fix and all that kind of stuff that we need to do when we get back from Cagnes. Dog is very happy to see us. I see Prof behind there. There he is. Prof did not go to Cagnes because Prof is not very portable. And he would, I don't think it'd be a good idea. Maybe one day when he grows up. So anyway, so now we're home and we're gonna look ahead to the new season, and we came back with more horses than we started from, and we'll keep some and lose some and we go on. So and we hope that there is a world to go on in because the news is not great at the moment. Not a good time to be an American, sadly. Any other questions or comments out there? Because this won't be a long live. I just wanted to touch base and see if anybody had anything to say. And if you miss this and you see it later, just leave the questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And otherwise, we will keep posting these short videos in the new season. And there are about nearly 3,000 of you out there watching these things. So thank you for subscribing. Keep subscribing. Tell your friends. And leave any questions in the comments. And merch is coming. Yes, we're gonna have merch. We're gonna have Well, I guess we already do. I have a Racing with Gina coffee mug, and there's t-shirts and sweatshirts, but I'll talk about that later because I'm not exactly sure where to find the merch yet. My dear husband has to tell me about how it all works. So, see you soon, and leave your questions in the comments. Bye.